I'm on my way up to meet with John Titus. He's a newer member on our team. Another person from Maine, grew up in Maine, worked in Maine, and moved away, but now is excited to come back into Maine to work on this project. I'm Thorne Dickinson. This show allows me to talk with Mainers working on the most important clean energy project to ever come to our state. We discuss how this project is providing jobs and other benefits today while creating clean energy for a better tomorrow. Are you from Maine originally?
I am, yes.
Where did you grow up?
Yep, so went to Portland Public Schools,
Okay.
University of Maine.
Okay.
So I've spent all my life here, a lot of my family has, but as time goes on, we've all kind of scattered to the four winds, and myself and my brother, and there's a few of us left, but kind of hanging tough here in Maine. We went to Florida as a retirement venture, but I never wanted to lose connections with the state. I love Maine, and this is where we grew up for generations. My family's been here, and it's just good to be back. And so this project just gave me an opportunity to. I was ready to come out of retirement. This project is great. I mean, the more I'm involved with it, the more I'm sold on what this project is trying to do and what it's trying to accomplish. And so my role is I'm out there working with the landowners and so forth, and I'm basically the face for them in terms of construction impacts. I believe in the project, and I want people to see that I'm not here just because it's a job. That I really believe that this is something of real benefit to the people.
If you don't mind me asking, what were some of the things that you thought it was a good project maybe and were excited to be on it, but as you learn more about it, what were some of those things that kind of jumped out at you?
Yep. Well, certainly what's been happening in Texas of late. Yeah, I thought I reconsidered what we're doing here a little bit, thinking that I think that really just adds a lot more benefit and support to why these are important. I mean, we're all on board with the clean energy efforts in terms of electrical generation. With that in mind, I mean, I'm somewhat of a novice in this area, but I don't see this going offline. I mean, once we have it, we'll have it. I think it's pretty secure, and that's important. So if we can build something like that into the electric grid and help guarantee that people will be able to maintain their power despite the worst of conditions that we get here in New England. I mean, we're really good at extreme conditions here in New England. So if it can withstand the test of time here, then I think it's a good example for the rest of the country and even beyond.
This project, this DC line, can go either way. So if we get a situation in the Northeast where there is much more intermittent generation, you can essentially reverse the flow and essentially store that extra energy that we wouldn't know what to do in the reservoirs for the time when you have these unusual events.
A question we hear a lot is, what benefit is this going to be to me? What benefit is this going to be to our community? And we're hearing that a lot. And I think the more that we're armed with good information that we can convey to people, rather informally, if I'm working with a landowner or in a public setting like that, I think that's going to be real helpful moving forward.
From the beginning, I've encouraged everybody that's involved in this project, including myself, the amount of trips I've made up through the corridor and talking with people, at picnic tables and around pickup trucks and answering questions and trying to dispel some of the myths. What do you see as the big things that are misunderstandings out there? Obviously, you mentioned the benefits issue. People sometimes don't think there are benefits that are going to matter to them when the reality there are. But beyond that, what are some of the other misunderstandings you think that are out there?
What I'm experiencing is confusion, I think, amongst people in terms of the voices that they're listening to or how they've interpreted what they've heard over time. And so we're going back to 2018 now, I think. So this is not a recent thing. This is something that's carried over from a couple of years ago. One of the things that our community relations team, I think, believe in greatly in terms of our role is to help kind of smooth out that confusion. If we can be a voice that helps to address that provide a level of good information that helps to resolve some of that, that would be a really good outcome for everybody, obviously, but I think it's a goal of our team to be able to do that.
I heard from someone that actually some people believe that the construction we're doing actually isn't even allowed at this point, you know. And
Right, exactly. And those are confusing messages, and obviously what they hear and how they interpret is going to determine how much confusion there really is. We understand how this works, but at the same time, you know, people, particularly if they're emotionally vested either way, may not be hearing everything that's going on to help sort that out. So, you know, we want to be a regular calming influence, if you will, to people as we meet them face to face.
And I think that for anybody that is interested in conserving and protecting his Maine North Woods, that, you know, obviously this project not only does that through dealing with climate change, which is the biggest risk for the northern woods, but also putting all this land in conservation, I think is exciting.
Not everybody out there that I've been talking with buys into the climate change issue, as it were. Particularly here in Maine, you've got a lot of people who are natives of the state, and they have differing opinions or concerns or questions about that whole thing. One of the things that I've been saying is that this power coming in from Quebec is a tremendous thing, because this expands our generation portfolio. We don't have all of our eggs in one basket, and so that all by itself is a really good idea.
It was a wonderful conversation with John, just to understand his philosophy and how much he wants to work on helping other people understand the benefits of this project, but also to answer questions or problems that come up, so we can help resolve them early on.